You know what else is strange that I didn't think I was going to enjoy?
Because you're stupid.
Yes. Fallout.
Yeah.
From Amazon Prime. Holy shit.
I'm gonna go straight into spoilers. You ready?
Fuck no!
Yeah, no, it's a good spoiler. Because I told you I was gonna do this before I even hit play on the first episode.
I'm sure you did. I don't remember. That was like a week ago.
There was not a single time when two characters are talking inside of a building and a car clips through the wall behind one of the characters. 0 out of 10 to show a shit. Not an actual Bethesda property.
That's true. So we follow...
But besides that, it's on par with The Last of Us. I put it in S tier. Easy.
It's close.
S tier.
I'd say high A.
Nope, you're wrong. You're being cringe. High A. Get out of here.
Okay, so I would say, to defend that opinion before getting into it, I do think most of that is my preference of genre and presentation, primarily, more than anything else. But I do feel as though Fallout has, it does just flatly have a cliffhanger ending, sort of. So that alone...
Not really.
It does. It does.
It's not a cliffhanger. It ends in a good spot.
I'm not saying it doesn't, but it clearly ends with massive setup for the next, whatever. Which Last of Us doesn't do. Last of Us, because it's a borderline one-to-one adaptation, ends where the first game ends, like on the button. It's just, oh shit, and then it ends. And like that's, I don't know.
Meh.
I think a few more of some of the visual effects are not on the same level as Last of Us, but they're also working with different ballparks. Because Last of Us is a lot more...
it's smaller.
Smaller. The general scale, not the literal scale of how much physical distance the show takes place over, but a lot of the costuming is a lot less over the top. A lot of the designs are a lot less over the top. So it is mostly a preference thing. If I'm gonna be lay CinemaSins brained about it, I noticed the green screen more. I know. I'm just saying, if I'm gonna nitpick, I notice the green screen more often in Fallout. But also, I don't really care. I'm not actually making that a real criticism. I'm just saying
you're wrong.
I respect Last of Us more, but Fallout was very, very fucking good. So we follow Lucy, who is the daughter of the overseer of Vault 33, a vault we haven't been in before in the series, that I'm aware of anyways. Twain. And then the show basically opens up with her getting married to a random schmuck from a nearby vault. Turns out they were raiders.
Whoa.
That's not good. And then her dad gets kidnapped, and then she goes out of the vault to find him. And a lot of shit happens. I was arguably more interested in the B plot than the A plot. The A plot was really good.
I think it's 100% intentional. It's how you play any Fallout game. Alright, so eventually, the story is over when you finish this mission. But come on, you're not here to do that. You're here to get sidetracked with all the side quests. Go to this town and figure out why there's a cannibal keeping kids in the basement.
I mean, isn't that something along the lines of what the ghoul said? The golden rule in the Wasteland is getting distracted by random bullshit or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of true. So it follows two major plot lines. One is following Lucy in the Wasteland. I kind of three. Lucy in the Wasteland, also the ghoul in the Wasteland, who's not like a ghoul, a known creature in this universe, but the ghoul. He's the guy. He's him. He is him. And also jumping back in his timeline. And then the B plot is... I can't even remember the character's name.
Maximus?
No. That's the A plot. Yes, it is. No, the B plot is in Vault 33 with Lucy's brother, whose name I don't remember, unraveling mysteries and shit. And then at the end, they do the thing where plot lines intersect, and it's it's all the same plot. Holy shit.
Wow.
This was a really solid 8 episodes. I'm glad they didn't milk it for more, because this would have been really easy to drag out, but it wasn't. A lot of shit happened in every episode.
Yeah, it feels like it's wrapped up very, very well. There's not much left over.
I mean, I still think it's a pretty big cliffhanger, but it's not unsatisfying. It's just clearly they were confident they'd get another season.
It all came together, and everything leading up to this point. You know where it is and where it was, where it ends. It's good. It's complete.
Sure. I think the visual effects were very good.
Visuals are very good. The gore is good.
Yes.
I heard something about an interview where I think it was Jonathan Nolan himself was like, I didn't just want gore for gore. I wanted weird, like, not realistic gore.
Yeah, he was
like,
saying...
I don't want someone just hit by a car, because that happens every day. I want someone getting shot through the neck with an arrow, because that's weird.
Right. I think that interview came out before the show did, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like... The gore is very well done, whether practical or digital, but like it's, while still gross very frequently, like it's so over the top that it's not like unsettling.
It makes you go ew as you're smiling because it's weird and fun.
Right, which I do think it handles really well. I'm very impressed by that. Except the giant axolotl, that made me actually like that. It was episode 3.
I don't know why this is your trigger.
I don't know either, but I had like a full spine tingle, like fucking weird shit going on. It was gross.
It looks like one of the dragons from How to Train Your Dragon.
Sure.
The black one that has like the big smile and the big eyes and whatever.
The big kitty.
Yes.
Yeah, but that also has the little like intestine thingies on the inside of its mouth, and that's gross. Fuck you. It was gross. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It made my body do things. It's really funny.
The comedy, if it was written by anybody else, would be painful. But it actually hits.
Yeah.
I don't know what the secret sauce is, but it's funny in this show.
It's probably a combination of the delivery and the comedy because of the vast majority of the jokes. So like this is very irony, double entendre type comedy dialogue, but unlike a la Borderlands, where the characters are aware they're saying something fucking stupid, pretty much every character takes the lines of dialogue seriously.
Of naivety.
Right, whereas Lucy says, we're gonna go find the head like 18 times, but after you hear it, you're like, that's a dick joke. At least I interpret it as a dick joke. But the actor and the character are taking it seriously, so like
right after they were talking about having the sex. Like, there's no way. Right,
like the it's not the character being like, haha, he's right behind me, because I know he's right behind me. Actually, that's not good. That's bad. It's like just people being dumb, I guess. I don't know. There's a level of obliviousness to some of the characters, which I think works really well, particularly with Lucy, but I think across the board. Also, a lot of the gore is just funny.
I am impressed by how much beans are in this show. There's a lot of politics.
Holy shit, Fallout's political? Fallout's never been political before.
Yeah, but it can be downplayed in the games quite a bit, and it's not in this at all. I think it goes pretty hard on this, and it's very enjoyable.
I think that's more on the ball.
Yes.
I think some of the other games go as hard, but they're either because of like
it feels wishy-washy in some games.
I would say more just the sheer amount of time you spend in a game. Like, New Vegas is like 25 hours to a lot more. Yeah. I'm saying like story completion wise, whereas this is 8-ish.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's because it's condensed and it doesn't have to deal with you making story choices that the writers didn't want you to make. It doesn't have to try to contextualize that, whereas it just has characters who really act as very good vessels of like certain types of worldviews, not as like they don't feel like caricatures. They are, but like they still feel like people, but it also feels like I know a guy like that, and it feels really in line with a lot of the choices they make. When you can see in the show when they pull up the character wheel and they make a stupid fucking decision, you're like, oh, I knew that was gonna happen. I think that makes it very enjoyable. Also, just the show agrees with me, so I feel great and very vindicated, obviously, because I'm me. You know how it is. But also, it's good.
I also like...
It's coherent.
It's not even real world politics, but like the political backstabbing or intrigue inside of the vaults of like who's going to be the next overseer, what does democracy look like in a vault, blah 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 blah.
I would say the way that
I guess not real life politics, but
how the different factions function.
The relationships between the fictional groups in the show.
Right, whereas like certain factions are more emblematic of X, Y, and Z kind of ideological camp, it still feels like the characters make decisions within that Venn diagram world that they're allowed in, and there's variance. Also because by the time the show is over, half the characters are like, "Ha, fuck the group I was with before. Actually, they're retarded." That helps too. There's a lot of...
When I was looking for I was saying like the Game of Thrones politicalness of like the intrigue of, ooh, if I kill this guy, then I will become ruler. Like,
well, I mean, I wouldn't say that that's complicated, but I enjoyed it.
Yes,
it's done.
There's that element of political to it as well.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't know. Walton Goggins, a person I respect, who I like. I always like Walton Goggins. He's just one of those guys. But also, I kind of don't like the vast majority of his roles. He plays such a caricature of himself almost every single time. Like, you hire Walton Goggins to be Walton Goggins, and he fucking kills this role. He's arguably the better protagonist of the show because there's more...
He is Ed Harris from Westworld.
That's true.
That's all I could see.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he's good.
Yeah. He has arguably more screen time than everybody else combined because he takes place in 2 time periods, but also it does a really good job of making him a very antagonistic piece of shit in the current timeline, and then about halfway through the show, when it gives you enough context, you're like, okay, he's still a dirtbag, but I understand how he got there, which is frankly like basic, understandable, sympathetic villain type shit, but still, like, a lot of shows fuck that. Every Marvel show fucks that up really bad, where they're like, wow, look at this very understandable, relatable villain, and then they kill babies, and you're like, wait, what? He feels ideologically consistent throughout the whole show. There's just more context given, which I thought was pretty cool. Also, I think just going into a potential next season, I think him and Lucy together make a good dynamic. It's kind of one of my only like real complaints is I wish I got more of them in a room together. Like, it was like 2 episodes that they were like neck and neck right there, you know. A lot of the rest of it was them on different...
I want more.
...parts of quest. Yes, I want more. This kind of floored me.
The good ending. This is what I was hoping for.
It also makes sense as a next chapter in the Fallout series because it's such a weird series of varying quality and gameplay quality.
I knew a decent amount of the lore and like what was happening behind the scenes with all the vaults and whatever, but I think this is the most in-depth we've ever seen, where there's like an actual boardroom of people like, no, actually we're gonna nuke the country. What are we gonna do about this? That was really, really good.
Yes, it's very good. I wouldn't know, so I played New Vegas and 3, which are the 2 better ones. At least the 2 better Bethesda ones, or Bethesda licensed ones, or whatever. But like, I don't have that context, and it still felt pretty coherent for me to understand. Also, because the realm of beans is up my fucking alley, so I can kind of just...
Really?
Yeah, I know, right? So I can just kind of... I got a good intuitive gut sense of where shit's going, you know? Because I'm smart and cool and stuff. I just have a fat...
So what you're saying is you read the real life news?
Basically.
Wow.
Sadly, I read newspapers. But that was pretty cool.
Dog meat.
There was a dog meat.
Dog meat is a good boy.
I hope that they have the same dog play the same dog in next season.
I hope so, because he was a good boy.
Wasn't in that much of it. I thought there'd be more.
Yeah.
It's only like 2 episodes, but whatever.
Needle drops. Left and right everywhere, but still good.
And really good. Yeah. And not like modern songs that sound vintage. No. Like, it was a lot of very tiny...
old school
50s
stuff.
and 60s music, which was really well done. That must take a lot of research to get like a good...
Jonathan Nolan just listens to old school vinyl all the time.
I can believe it.
Yeah, me too.
But he's not the editor, so I don't know if that was his call, but you know.
He's just sucking down a ciggy like, no, you need to throw the kinks in there.
I think
throw a Buddy Holly song on. I know just the one.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's really good.
S tier.
It's right on the line.
You are the gay man.
I am more likely, I think, to revisit it willingly than The Last of Us, which we talked about earlier. Yeah. I want to revisit The Last of Us soon because it's been a while.
This was my idea. I've been wanting to rewatch The Last of Us on a TV because I watched most of it on a phone. and I want to see it actually look good on a wide screen. But I also don't want to get punched in the balls. My emotional tenders.
What, you mean
like
you don't
The Last of Us does?
You mean you don't want to watch an episode and being attempted to be raped and then burned alive?
Fallout is a fun viewing, and it's fun and funny, and it's just...
It's not light, but
I was on the cusp of saying that.
By comparison,
it's not light, but it's a lot easier to view.
I would say it's more of a dramedy. Whereas as Last of Us is just a straight up drama in a fantasy setting.
There's a lot more one-liners that make you think ooh, wow, that's really good, and it means a lot because blah 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 blah. Whereas Last of Us is we're gonna shoot a guy in the face because he tried to steal our can of Spam.
That's true.